Mail call. Well, you know what? I forgot to take a picture. Drastic. But what I got today were some shallots. And I've never planted shallots before, but I'm not even sure if I've eaten them. But I love onions and I love leeks. And I know that shallots are kind of in between the two. They're just a mild onion shaped differently, more like more like so instead of so. So, okay, whatever. And I figured if I don't know that much about leeks, maybe, maybe you don't know that much about leeks also. So I thought I would tell you, well, a little bit of what I found out about leeks. Does that sound like a plan? Okay. I'm talking about leeks, and I meant shallots. Okay, so good old mouth of mine does not always say what it means. But what is a shallot anyway? I've got something on my screen here that I need to get out of my way if I can. It's not going to let me. Oh, here we go. It did let me. Okay, what is a shallot anyway? Classified as Allium cepa variegation aggregatum. Shallots belong to the Allium genus, which includes every kind of onion, from chives through garlic and scallions, and even the giant purple pom-pom flowers in the garden. Yes, those are edible too. I didn't know that. Unlike single bulb onions, shallots grow in clusters, and if left in the earth, instead of being harvested, would form clumps. If you grow shallots, they are the gift that keeps on giving. This is why, if you peel a shallot, you may find that you have two or more tightly packed cloves pressed together in tighter, narrower layers than those of an onion. And shallots can differ in size and shape according to their variety or cultivar, but they can be used interchangeably unless you're a purist. Petite red shallots, for example, are a foundation of Southeast Asian cooking traditions, where they might be fire roasted, pounded into a paste, or fried as a last minute essential flourish of crunch. Dutch yellow and red shallots and French gray shallots, whose flesh is actually pink, are larger and are used more often in so-called Western style cooking. And I suspected that's what these are that I just got. Do they taste? Do they taste? Obviously, they feel them. Do they taste different from onions? Well, if you lined them up in a blind tasting of onions, red through yellow and white with shallots sneakily in, we'd defy you to appreciate the difference at once. But if you're patient and have a smart shallot palate, oh, that's hard to say, you will detect more sweetness in the shallots and greater sharpness in the onions. Generally, there's less sulfur in shallots and greater onion breath in the onions. This can vary from cultivar to cultivar, region to region, and can be affected by growing conditions. So the difference between shallots and scallions, which are also called spring onions, is more discernible, obviously in appearance, since scallions' long green stems give them away, but where texture is concerned, with the scallions being milder and softer. So How do you substitute onions for shallots and vice versa? Just bear in mind that you use about 3 shallots for every 1 onion. And that really depends on the respective sizes. If the shallots are small, more. If they're pretty good size, add fewer. To substitute onions for shallots in a vinaigrette, a hard one to say, where they will be eaten raw, we suggest you first soak the chopped onion in cold water for 10 minutes to remove some of its sting. Then drain, dry, and proceed. Another tip: when substituting onions for shallots, remember that shallots have a milder, sweeter taste. To mimic this flavor profile, you might try adding a pinch of sugar to the dish when using onions as a substitute. How to cut shallots: you separate any clusters into individual bulbs before cutting them. Use a sharp knife to remove the stem and then peel off the shallots for the skin. Place 1/2 cut side down on your cutting board and use a small notch cut to remove the root. Cut it lengthwise or crosswise into slices. To dice it, follow the directions above and half the shallot. Cut it in half. Then cut each half again lengthwise. Cut the shallot crosswise to create diced shallot pieces. To mince, follow the directions above to prep and half the shallot. Cut each half lengthwise and finally slice each half crosswise. Then rock the knife back and forth to mince the shallot. Shallots are versatile and the base of many dishes, from soups to stews to sauces. Consider these ideas for a starting point for using shallots in your cooking. Raw and chopped finely, shallots are often the building block of a French-style vinaigrette. Or what would oysters be without sauce mignonette? I'm saying that right. They are also delectable when quick pickled. Fried shallots can be used to garnish an array of dishes, from Thai-style soups to cornerstone of Thanksgiving, the green bean casserole, for instance. And then there's a riff on frying that keeps the shallot rings intact for Instagram-worthy presentation. Or you can slow cook them. And slow-cooked shallots, the sweetness and depth of flavor that enhances myriads of dishes. Everything from a vegetable side, like caramelized corn, and it's cold season ready, to this cold. Again, my tongue is not working. To this cold season ready mussel and shallot stuffing. Well, that sounds good. Don't assume that shallots need to be sliced or diced for cooking. Because of their attractive shape, shallots are beautiful, kept whole, just peeled and included in comfort classics like French beef bourguignon. These French words are hard to say. Cooked low and slow, more glazed shallots, whole glazed shallots are an easy side dish or satisfying vegan entree atop of toast. Half skinny shallots are delicious with an autumnal pear roasted chicken. Sounds good. So that is all about the shallots. There are probably more things to know about shallots. That's what I'm telling you, and I hope you could see my face while I was doing that. I couldn't see my face while I was doing that because I was reading that information to you about shallots so that you would know about shallots. And I'm sorry that I didn't take a picture of shallots that I got in the mail. And I'm making me seasick here. I realize that my computer is just not in a good spot. Oh, okay, there. Maybe we're good now. Let's see if I can do this, the rest of this video without making you seasick. I'm anxious for my shallots to grow. They came with the stems that are probably 18 inches long already. But there were it was just one small container about so big. And it had 4 shallots. Pretend like this is half of the container. Half of the container. 1, 2, 3, 4 shallots in there. So they'll grow. They really don't need to get any taller. They need to grow underneath the ground and turn in. I want them to be at least that big and turn into nice clumps of shallot, and that'll give me some shallots to eat and shallots to plant. And like I said, a never-ending shallot. Where did I get where did I get these shallots? Well, I ordered them from Walmart, but if Walmart's got them in stock in their nursery at Walmart, which is only open during the summer sort of months, late spring to early fall, they a third party that just show that some orders come from somewhere else. And this was one of those things that took, 18 days, a little over a week, might have been closer to 2 weeks from the time we ordered them until we got them. And we got this big thank you. Now, hopefully that's not backwards on your side, because it looks okay what I'm looking at there. It says, thank you for your business. Your order was packed with love by our Hirts Garden team members, and they came from Hirts Garden. Follow our social networks, it says, to Hirts Garden Social. Put that up there. You can time to look at it. You can do this so it's not fuzzy. Oh, it's kind of fuzzy, but maybe you can see it. If I pull it back so it's not fuzzy, then it's toothed away. So, Hirts Garden Social. And it's got a link there to give you tips on how to plant. Scan to get started or visit greg.app slash Hirts Gardens. And that's down at the bottom. Okay. Congratulations on your new leafy friends. Grow happy plants. And they've got free care info, water reminders, light and fertilizer needs, and community Q&A. So that is all about my mail call. My hubby also got my poor straggly little tomatoes. He got them planted. And my peppers were looking even worse. That's because somebody had forgotten to water them. But they weren't dead or anything. They just were very sad looking. And I gave them a good deep watering. And hubby planted them out with the shallots, which should be just just fine, actually, because the shallots will help keep the bugs away. I don't know how close they are to the tomatoes. I didn't go out and look and see exactly where he planted everything, but he got her done. So now we're just waiting, and they should be here. Well, it said tomorrow, but last time it said tomorrow. It wasn't tomorrow. And tomorrow's Sunday. We don't usually get things on Sunday, so I'm hoping that that means Monday, but I'll have to do the tracking and see what it says. And I'm talking about strawberries. I forgot to preface that. Strawberries come. We will get my new raspberry colored green stalk all loaded up with dirt and planted with raspberries, with strawberries. And hopefully I can get some of that oregano moved out of my green stalk and moved into a pot. That might be for another day too. So we'll get it all done eventually. And it's amazingly, it's like 58, almost 60 degrees out. It was 60 a few minutes ago, but the wind is blowing like heck. So it feels like it's 30 when it's really not. It's been highs or lows were in the 40s, our highs were in the 40s yesterday and the day before. And I know that contributed to the peppers not being very happy. Also, lack of water and lack of sunshine, and tomatoes were being blown around like heck. So I guess that's supposed to make them strong, right? Anyway, they got planted. We're off and running. Hopefully they do fine. If we get some warmer days, supposed to be a little bit warmer, not much. I don't know. We had days in the high 80s for a spell, couple weeks almost. Wonderful weather, and now it's turned icky again. So that's the plants don't know what to do. It's like help! Something's going haywire here. So over here on my shelf, my basil and whatever I planted in my little toilet paper rolls, looking good. I think I showed those to you yesterday. And as soon as it warms up, I'll set those out on the porch, let them grow on a little more, and then they will go. Some of the basil will go in with the tomatoes, and some of it will go in the green stalk, and we'll go from there. In the meantime, I'm going to let you guys go enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget, let the love of God grow deep in your hearts. Darlene at Darlene's Garden and Home, signing off. As soon as I can figure out how to stop my video.